Soul is fire. From a slow simmer to a beautiful braise. Soul is sweet perfection and salty, spicy, saucy goodness. Soul is buttery smooth, melt in your mouth, and oh my. Discover our soul in Jackson, Mississippi, the city with soul.
You miss me? The truth is, I miss me too. This season, we show you why Jackson is the city with soul.
I've talked to seasoned business owners, a high-end custom fashion designer, and an entertainment mogul. And the food. Don't get me started on the food. I know y'all love LA, New York, Atlanta, yada, 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 but right now, this is about Jackson, Mississippi. I'm talking Mediterranean, Thai food, French cuisine, Caribbean. I mean, shit, I keep going.
It's clear that Jackson got something to say, and Dirty Napkins is here to say it. So get ready. Let's get some napkins dirty. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Dirty Napkins. Today, I'm having a conversation with my longtime friend Anu. He's a dreamer, torsador, and Renaissance dripster. I'm excited to have this conversation, and I hope you are too. So tune in. Let's go get some napkins dirty. How you feeling?
Everything blessed, my brother.
Everything.
It's good to be here with you, dog. Good
Likewise.
to be with you. Yes,
Likewise.
Lord.
You say it's your first time with all these cameras on you, huh?
Yo.
Not the superstar you are,
man. By God's grace, man, I'm still getting used to this, man.
Yeah.
So it's an honor, man. We're around family, so it's always good. And we're in the hometown, so
yeah,
that's the best kind of situation I can ask for, bro.
Yeah.
Truly.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you. When I found we was gonna be talking, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one.
I brought you a stick too, so we can definitely parlay on that.
You know,
and
some
literature.
too much.
Oh man, he got a smoke now. And then we got a nice little set of literature for us to discuss too, man. That kind of give us some basis on the conversation. Okay. Yes, Lord. So I'm excited, bro. Good to see you too, man.
Yeah, likewise.
Yes, sir.
Likewise.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man, what you been up to lately? Like, what's I look up one day. Let me just tell you how this kind of happened for me. I look up one day and I see you out here rolling cigars and like doing your thing. And then I told you about the one story. The guy was like, oh yeah, I'm having a party. I'm gonna have this guy roll cigars for me. He showed me the guy that's rolling cigars. It's you. I'm like, I know this brother.
It's times have changed, man. Man, for me, bro, been really trying to focus on building out a business, man. That's been for me, but also the combination of while doing so, making sure that I'm getting a community, building a community as well. So these last couple of years, to kind of catch you up, we've been working on the cigar venture. So it's one of a few ventures that I'm involved in, but primarily my baby. It's the one that I had the most passion for, the one that I had accomplished the most skill or accrued the most skill, for lack of better terms. And we've been building that out, man. And God is at that point now where he's saying, hey, man, do more, pave the way forward, and leave the door open for the next set of people the same way it was done to me, man. So that's what we've been doing. Right now, got the expansion portion of our business is in mode right now. Definitely taking it to the next level, starting to, put more stuff out and really kind of walk into that design I had for the company, which I'm super excited about.
Okay. Now, I got to address, before we get too deep, I have to address the elephant in the room, at least the elephant in the room for me. Right, last time we were really just sitting down rapping, you went by something different than what you go by today. Can you explain the name change and the name meaning and just that whole process?
For sure. For the tribe locally and the tribe worldwide, I'm the artist formerly known as Christopher DeAndre Paris Maddox, now known by Big Chief affectionately, a new Seti Amin Ra. So, bro, with that, man, I had a real traumatic childhood, for the lack of better terms. And the crazy thing is, what's a pleasure about this is I'm sitting with somebody who was around for that. So we're not strangers to that game. So you can kind of attest to some of the trials and tribulations I dealt with, man. And honestly, man, I wanted a fresh start. And a lot of people, take drastic things to do fresh starts. Whether they cut their hair, they move to a new place, they take a new career. I'm like, hey, I just got tired of what I've been getting called, because in my mind, it was just associated with so much trauma, so much negativity in some cases, man. And I just wanted to get rid of that. I couldn't get rid of the baggage per se, but the name was a trigger for me. Sure. And then as I started to evolve spiritually, man, I was really inclined to have a name to work into, something to step into, So that's where anew came. Let's start anew. Now,
anew.
Yes. Now the name is very deep, so we'll start in this in the indigenous meaning of the name, Choctaw meaning of the name, which will mean the bearer of the stream. All right. So pretty much being the one that's
anew.
Yes.
The bearer of
the stream. Yes. All right. But in the if we're looking at African spirituality and looking at the Kemetic society, the word Anu means the beginning or the god of. So if you look at the word, for case in point, Anubis, which be the god of the underworld, Bus being the underworld. And in the Sanskrit language, Anu is the name of God. It's literally the name of God. So like instead of Yahshua, Allah, it'll be the name of God. Yeah, that's what
I got two questions.
Yeah, really. Talk to me.
Let's start with there. Let's start with a name of God. Like, how do you find out this stuff? Like, why find that out?
As you can tell, man, I'm a huge reader, man. Okay. I found as a child, dude, that I found my most safe space inside of literature. And of course, being from the north side, Jackson, being that's nerd. Being a nerd, I played golf, that was my thing, but I had to put on the tough exterior in order to kind of make it through and navigate the environment. But literature has always been my safe place, brother. And for me, it's played a huge part in me being able to create the atmosphere for myself that I desire, so I can kind of let that out. And that's what's been going on. So I found that out through just travels and reading, man, serious reading, just to kind of understand. Not only they talk about how powerful your tongue is and how names have so much power, So I was curious, like, why is Jesus or Yahshua or Allah? What do those names mean? Who named these people? Why were they chosen? They had to have some power. So I just spent time in that journey looking for that. Sure. And that's where I found it, man. Sure.
Do you care to touch on, you spoke about your childhood trauma, right? Personally speaking, I know you, right? We grew up together, 601Bs, for those who know.
For those who know.
Yeah,
that's Lord.
But you know, you talk about the childhood trauma, and that was a side of you I didn't see, right? I saw you come, you put the good face on every day. You was charismatic then. You was almost the same guy then that you are now. A little more dapper, a little more dripster, as you like to go by. But what was some of that childhood trauma?
Man, no problem, man. That's a part of the healing, dude. And at this point in my life, man, especially for men, I don't think we get too many occasions to really talk about stuff that affects us, that makes us act out in public. So, you know, emotional intelligence was one of those things that I definitely try to deal with, and dealing with the things that have affected me helps me move past that and to identify that as the old version of myself. So, man, my grandmother primarily raised me due to my mother was in prison, in and out of prison, most of my life. So, my mom, you know, was involved with a couple serious ventures, man, involved in kind of the gang culture and everything, and her way of making sure I was equipped for the type of stuff that I would encounter, especially as a Black man in society. I had to be rough around the edges. I had to be able to apply certain tactics and skills, and that was her way of teaching me and actually loving me. Now, ironic enough, my relationship with my mother is not the relationship that most people have with their mothers. Okay. Me and my mama, like, here with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my mom, but my mom is like, my mom's my partner. That's my day one. My mom, my day one. You know, it's not the number two, you know, type of situation. So the love is in a relationship is very different. But I always yearn to have those situations. I yearn to have a loving, that type of love. So I used to deal with that, man, watching my grandma have to kind of put up with some stuff. Really me going through an identity crisis in school.
Really?
Yeah,
I think a lot of people go through identity crisis, man.
And it was rough for me, man, because I used to have to feel like, you know, hey, dude, I wanted to be in the drama club and I wanted to play golf. I wanted to enjoy the band. I didn't want to have to worry about somebody taking my shoes or making sure I got rid of the pills and paid the dope man back. I didn't want to have to deal with any of that, man. That wasn't for me. And a lot of people don't want to be the nerd because they think being the nerd is a lame thing. But, you know, now a lot of people who push me into some very strenuous circumstances now are paying the price for that, you know, and they are still in a place where the last time I seen them on 601, and I'm not, you know, and that's because I just decided one day, like, hey, dude, I'm lit, for real, you know what I'm saying? Let me put on for my city in a different way, which is why, you know, anytime I let everybody know when I'm introducing myself abroad or a neighboring state, I say, hey, I'm Chief of New Seti, I'm in Rod, hailing from the north side of the Jack, Presidential Hills to be exact. I let them know, this is where I'm from, this is who I am, this is the cloth I'm cut from, you know, but this is what I'm doing, and it's something different, bro.
And you're super well traveled. So, and you just mentioned, I mean, you teed that up for me perfectly, right? How do you think Presidential Hills molded you, right, into this person?
Man, Presidential Hills, man, historically speaking, it was really one of those first neighborhoods in Jackson, Mississippi, primarily for our community. When people started moving to Presidential Hills at the time in the early like 50s and such, I mean, it was the burbs, it was the black burbs. It's our version of Bel Air, if you will, at the time, you know, and Presidential Hills has always been a beacon of, you know, success in some places. But then, of course, the times begin to allow people to kind of change it up. So me getting a chance to meet people, getting a chance to see a lot of different scenarios, man. I was Mr. Presidential Hills 3 years in a row when I was a child. So we used to have a Presidential Hills parade, all right?
Well, I remember.
When I was a kid, I was Mr. Presidential Hills. So when anybody wants to say, I got the key to Presidential Hills.
Yeah, I know that. I know that.
So I was Mr. Presidential Hills 3 years. My mom was really about that. My mom really wanted me to win the fundraiser. So Presidential Hills taught me, man, the game. You know what I'm saying? It taught me how people's traumas affect their behaviors. It showed me the value of community. You know, it showed me some people don't mean you well and some people do mean you well. And even the people that mean you well sometimes are in a position to harm you because of their lack of emotional trauma or intelligence rather, and what they're going through. So man, Presidential Hills, man, played a beautiful part in my life's case study, if you will.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? It provided me a solid case study to see what's out here. So by the time I got out to the street, man, and to try to attack life, I was equipped with the skills to maneuver those types of situations.
Sure. So now I do this thing whenever I'm interviewing somebody. I go on Twitter
Okay.
and I research tweets, right? So I came across a tweet, right? I came across it, not from you,
Okay.
but somebody, and I want to get your comments on this. Somebody said guys around here changing their name for attention, right? And it felt like, right, kind of in the context of how they were saying, in the context of how they painted it, it felt like they were almost targeting that to you. What would you say to people who will say, I think he changed his name for attention? What do you say to that?
Well, if you didn't care before I changed my name, why you care now? You know what I'm saying? I did that for me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the problem. A lot of people, and I was guilty of that. You know, I was guilty of as a child of worrying about what everyone had to say except for what God put me here to do. You know, to the point where I was so clouded by my conditions in the social environments that I let people manipulate me into being a worse version of myself. And they have no stake in the game. So when I start worrying about other people and do what I want to do, it's obviously drawing the attention. But I didn't know that was out there, nor do I did that for me. You know what I'm saying? I did that to deal with my trauma. I addressed myself first. You know, the good books talks about being a good neighbor, you know. So in order for me to be a good neighbor, I must first be good. You know, good in my house, good financially, good spiritually, you know, good all the way around so that I can push that out, you know. And that's been my thing. So I've been worried about myself, you know, and no harm, no foul. If it caught their attention, I hope they know I love them. You know what I'm saying? And if they didn't notice or it didn't matter to them, then so be it. But what I did it for myself. And, you know, I'm proud of that, man. Like, the new version of Anu is pretty lit.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm glad. That's amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I'm healed, bro. And that's good.
That's healthy and
lit.
that's beautiful. And to sit across from somebody that I've known for so long and to hear you say you healthy and you healed, man, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Now, a lot of people don't know you went to the military.
Yes.
Right? And not
Yes.
only did you go to the military, you served for a while.
Yes.
And it's my understanding that you were in the infantry unit at a point, and you
Yes.
also did like some logistical work.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that time?
Man, so I joined the military my 10th grade year. Actually, yeah, because they had a delayed entry program where you can join in 10th grade.
remember that.
And I used to be First Sergeant Welber at the time. I joined then. I think I was 17 at the time. The military for me, bro, gave me a clear set of expectations, measurable expectations, because you know they have things that they're not just getting mad or saying, hey, you need to do this and this is what I feel you need to do, and I don't really have a way to measure those goals or measure the success or failures. So the military gave me measurable tasks, measurable duties, but it also made me take pride in country. But in turn, I'm a citizen of such said country, so I must have pride in self, which means if I have pride in self, I carry myself a certain way. So it really shifted me and gave me some mental focus, you know. And it was one of my most memorable times of my life, man. I got a chance to get abroad, to see things from, see a different world view, and to see how things shaped out. And fortunately enough, man, when I joined the Army, I was at E2, and when I got out of the Army, I got out in 03, I got out of the service as a captain, man. A few combat deployments, man, so I got a chance to see the world from the other side, you know, and see what actually being an American is, man, which plays a huge part. So on the backside of my career, when I kind of got—
Are you proud to be an American?
Yes, and I want to put some perspective on that.
Okay.
Too. I'm from this landmass. You are from this landmass. Our ancestors, our grandmothers, our grandfathers were born here. We tilled this land. We built this economy here. We built the community here. Sometimes we have a very traumatic relationship with America at times, but it's still ours, though. You know, and it's up to us at this point to kind of make it the reality that we want to make it. You know, and for me, that's conquering my immediate circumstances, getting rid of my immediate home, my immediate business, my immediate friendships and relationships. And then as it's a cataclysmic spread of love and happiness, man, I feel like that we can really turn it around if we think positively about it. But I love America, man. I done been around to see enough to see how fortunate we are, even in the things that we feel could be a lot better for us here, we have it amazing, bro.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, I love it here, man. I love home, bro.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that.
I love home.
So, we talk a little bit about you being well read, and obviously, you brought a book here. So, let's talk about it. Why this book? Why bring it? Why is this important to you?
All right, guys. Well, this my business Bible, man.
That right there.
Yeah, my business Bible. And what I like about literature is literature again gives me a chance to be able to revisit things and to study. So for the book for the camera, is Principles by Ray Dalio. So for people who've never heard of Ray Dalio, what Ray Dalio does, Ray Dalio is the owner of Bridgewater and Associates, which is one of the world's largest hedge funds. So this guy here is the money man of all money mans, and for me, I study the people that I would like to be like or like to be in the position of. So fortunately enough, in him getting older and wanting to pass the value down, he began to document his memoir here and end up giving his principles of how he attacked business. And of course, I wrote Trap on here, so take risks and prosper.
I was like, did he put that?
Yeah, I wrote this here.
Okay, so that's
I wrote
you.
this here. Yeah, I wrote this
Okay.
here it was something for me to kind of let me know I need to constantly work on my risk tolerance. So
Does that mean something? Because I see you got the dots in between each
yeah,
letter.
take risk and prosper. That's 2 chains. We did the whole Trap Museum and all that. Yeah, that's what that
Okay.
is, man. So man, it's in here, man. It's a couple of things I wanted to which is the first thing I want to point out to you is point 1.3 says be radically open-minded and radically transparent. Radically. I mean, and I've been so again, when I say this is my Trap Bible or my business Bible for me, it's forcing me to deal with my current situation and find solutions for those problems and not to blame it on anybody, not to let anybody decide for me what I can decide for myself. And that chapter starts off with embrace reality and deal with it.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Embrace reality
That's
and
real.
deal with it. And so literature for me, bro, gives me a mirror, if you will, dude.
Yeah,
Because sometimes, I may not want to hear from you that you telling me I'm messing up,
Yeah.
even though I need to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I need to be open-minded to your criticism because you see something that in my immediate viewpoint I'm missing, obviously.
What is your reality today? Right
Dude,
now.
I surround myself around people, places, and things. They bring me joy. That moves me in my purpose, and keeps me happy, bro. I live a beautiful life, brother. I am swell. Understand me? I'm swell.
And I
dude.
believe you about how you saying.
I'm swell, man. Again, on the earlier when I did the profile with Party and Paul, I said that I don't always have everything I want, but I damn sure got everything I need, brother.
And I feel that.
And that's success, bro. That's success,
Is that
man.
success to you?
Yes, Lord. Man, dude, because, man, think about how many people and how many times us as children have watched our parents, watched our neighbors, watched our friends not have what they need.
Yeah.
So they'll do something crazy just to get something that they want,
Nah, for real.
and put major risk, the wrong type of risk, And now, man, to be at this place in my life where not only I'm tuned out to the naysayers, I'm tuned out to the negativity, bro. Right now, we have an environment. This environment is positive. It's a whole bunch of moving pieces going on right around us right now. But right now, we vibe.
Yeah.
And that's because there's a lot of love there, it's a lot of respect there, and that's the beautiful part about it. And that's what I'm happy about the most, man. Oh snap.
Perfect time.
Yes, Lord.
Ooh, that look good.
Yeah, that looks beautiful right there, man. Shout out to LaCour, man.
Yeah, I'm talking like the timing could not have been better. Everything you just said, I was about to say. Well, I mean, the obvious transition would be we here.
Yeah.
We're about to have food.
Yeah.
We're having drinks.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ask you, man, like, what kind of spots in Jackson do you like? What kind of spots do you frequent?
Okay. My 2 favorite places
Yeah.
in Jackson. Obviously, we're sitting at one of them, LaCour, and Godfrey's is a big thing of mine. And,
Just at Godfrey.
Yeah, and it's a couple other places that I like for all of the components. So I'll name them if you want to entertain me on them. I love Josephine's. Sylvia's is a classic for me. because it gave me these places are giving me a historical relevance to the city I grew up in. Big Apple Inn, you know, E&L, you know, these types of places for me are places I go now. And if I had to bring some Martin's Fish House.
Oh, you talking OG spot.
You know what I'm saying?
OG
Places,
spot.
if I had to bring somebody to Jackson and say, hey man, this the city, I want you to swing by, because now you got to deal with the people.
Let me ask you this. You from the Jack, you well traveled. This is a question I ask a lot of people in other places. Would you say, because I say this, but I want your opinion, do you think Mississippi has the best food?
Yes. I argue with people all the time about
this. If
this.
you're not ready to stand on it.
Oh, I'm ready to stand on that.
All right, well, we together then.
Yeah, I'm ready to stand on it.
I'm ready to stand on it.
I argue with people all the time. This is the definition of soul food here.
For sure.
And I think a lot of people try to count Mississippi out for a lot of things and try to only relegate our city to the traumatic things and not the commonality and not the beautiful culture. You know, almost everybody who we love and respect in the game now are Mississippians, man. Yeah. Mississippi has the best food, bro. And we getting a chance to see this.
Yeah,
this is
beautiful.
Get a chance
to see it firsthand.
Yeah, this is beautiful. So people watching this, man, this Mississippi right here, man. We in the home of the greats, man. So I mean, from everything, and I won't even just go and say just stand on just food. Yeah, I'm like, hey man,
talk to me.
We just start this with the drip. When Mississippians walk out, man, people see us, man. You know, people know that our culture is rich here. You know, everybody got a country cousin from Mississippi.
You know what it is? I think Mississippians have a soul to project, right? We got something
that's heavy.
We got something we come from, something we proud of. And a lot of times people take that as, oh, these guys are arrogant. They, you know, they country, they this, they that. But really all it is just this, we giving you who we are.
Flavor.
Right? Yeah.
Flavor, man. You know, some people, you know, get caught up on art that's fixated on walls, man. I like moving art, man. Yeah. Art imitates life, and life is movement. It's inertia. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when I see people from home, I can spot a Mississippian, man, pretty quickly. Like it was I guess your social media manager. When I seen, I had to ask her where she from. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, and she told me where she was from. It's time to feast, I assume.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm just getting set up, man. I'm listening to you right now.
For me, man, that's one of those things, bro. And that's how I know. But I stand on it. Fashion, music, food, the whole gamut.
Well, we're going to put a pin right there in food, let's do it, man. We talk about that. I'm going to try this out a little bit.
Pasta, baby.
Yeah, you got that pasta. You got that pasta.
Oh, yeah. Let me get situated, man.
I got to get a little closer, man.
Yes, indeed, man.
Get a little bit closer. Yeah, but
that did look good.
Nah, it look good. Oh, here we go. This is what I've been waiting for right here. Oh, now we cook.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
That
looks amazing. Got some.
You got no space over there?
We gotta move that up to the front. To the front. Hey man, shout out to LaCour, man.
Yeah, no cap.
Man, we over here eating like kings right now, man. Nah, dirty napkins, baby. Yeah, Lord.
Nah, for real.
Yes, Lord.
For real.
Okay. Let's get this a.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you take a bite,
man. Let's get this a shot, man. Come on.
I'm talking. They got the toppings on it and everything.
Oh yeah.
And you said you rolled cigars for like their first ladies night here, right? That's all right.
And speaking of that,
how was that?
It's actually awesome, bro. The thing was, I'm excited to see people kind of gather. I like to see, especially like new ventures, new movements, and since right now, all the more time to be involved in something like that, especially with how long we've been separated from each other. So ladies' night was put together by at Your Fashion Fairy, Mrs. Lafayette, social media influencer, man, beautiful soul, beautiful person, mother, wife. And she's awesome. So she's hosted the very first one. It was an absolute success. We had Miss Alexis on the saxophone. I was out rolling cigars out here, had a beautiful thing. She had a nice set of raffles and stuff. And I just love the ambiance, man. People came ready to celebrate, to just have a good time. And since everybody's been back to business, you know, of course, it's like a business part of Jackson. To see people let their hair down for a minute was cool, dude.
Good.
It was cool.
Rocking with that.
It was cool, bro. It was cool. It was cool. Hey, you never came. You should come, bro.
Well, I'm gonna have to now. I didn't know they did it. Right, I didn't know they did.
And it was the first. It was the first one they put together, and I'm hoping.
Is it a new thing?
Yeah, it's
no
new.
Pun intended.
You see what
I
did
like
there? Yes.
I'm picking up the vibe, baby.
Something fairly new. And I think right now what I like about LaCour and its embrace with the community so far is people are trying to put themselves in. People are trying to get involved, you know. And I told you a quote that my grandmother used to tell me all the time, especially as a youngster, that wherever there's a community, there's always an economy. You know, and for business owners, for people aspiring to be in business, or people already in business, man, building that community is pivotal, bro. Wherever there's a community, there's someone spending money, there's someone putting back and developing more economics. Just think about, we use a neighborhood, for example. If there isn't a grocery store by a local neighborhood, they call it a food desert. You never thought about it like that, huh? So certain neighborhoods don't have grocery stores. Well, that's an economic floor, a stimulus package to neighborhoods, which is why they place them there. So when you think about moving to certain parts of the city, you'll move downtown because it's convenient. Movie theaters, clubbing activities, golf, you know, football, entertainment of sorts. Well, that's the economy of the community. And that's what makes people move to the community. So wherever there's a community, there's always an economy. You have to just find your economy, or find your community, and there's the economy. And that's what's been going on around here, and I like that.
I think that's a profound statement your grandmother told you.
Yeah, man.
Soul is history that moves you, saying, remember this day. Soul is the spirit inside each of us that never gives up. Soul is a voice that says, listen to me. Discover our history, our spirit, our soul in Jackson, Mississippi, the city with soul.
Welcome back. Let's go get some napkins dirty.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Dan's partner, Jeff Good.
Dirty napkins. And it lends itself really well, because I did not know this, and speaks to my, not knowing. But you told me this spot we're at right now, LaCour, obviously you've been here. You said it's a black-owned spot.
Yes, indeed.
Correct?
Yes, indeed, man.
And speaking of this being a black-owned spot, you also told me all that drip you got on. That's a badass suit,
Oh,
by
for
the
the people, man.
But you said that's all black-owned,
Yes, sir.
too.
You know what I'm saying? If this was all black, I'd give you the Nipsey quote. But you know what I'm saying? This here, man, is K. Cole, man. The one, the only, Kyrus Customs, man. My brother,
For
my
real?
friend. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. My brother,
Friend
my
of the show.
friend, my mentor. My hat that I'm wearing right now is a custom piece by No Man Hat Company out of Washington, D.C. Two brothers. You know what I'm saying? They good people. So they made the beautiful piece on I got right now. The vest is a piece I made. So this is a piece. This is my own
You
piece
made
here. Yeah. This is my piece, bro.
So okay, I'm about to take a piece of fish, and I got to
Come on.
ask you though now. So you, not only do you roll cigars, and I know we haven't got into your cigar rolling, but you also make do you make clothes, or you just make clothes for yourself?
No, I'm making clothes now. I started trying to make little small pieces for myself, but now I'm currently a MFA student at the Academy of Art Design for fashion design. That's what so I got into the program, started at the top of this year, so we've been working through some stuff. But I mean, I used to do costume design in undergrad. So I did plays, collegiate plays at Jackson State with Mad Drama Performance Troupe. I did Wine in the Wilderness, where I did actual stage costume design, bro. So this has always been a thing of mine that I've always liked, but haven't taking it more serious in these times, for sure. So yeah, man, everything I got on, man, this tie came from a brother that was making ties in prison. He's still incarcerated, only has has 2 years left, but he's been making like ties and like donating them to like local thrift stores and stuff to sell. And end up hearing about it, man. I end up getting a piece from the brother. And that's it. So everything I got on except for my shoes is black on. Everything. I forgot to plug in my cufflinks real quick. So Bobo is the name of the brand. Stands for Black Owned, Black Operated.
Well, you got it on you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's the time to do it, so let's put it on. I'm gonna do it now, you know what I'm saying? This the time, man. So anytime I get a chance to put on for the city, or put on for people, put on for the culture, to let us know that we do have quality, we do have ambiance, we do have something to say. Like, Andre 3000 said, the South got something to say. You know what I'm saying?
I love
And here, man, is a prime example of something prominent, something poised, something quintessential to say. And I'm here for it, bro. Shout out to LaCour.
And shout out to LaCour. And speaking of 3 stats, music has it holds an influential place in my heart. I'm assuming the same for you just because of our background and everything. And when you talk about Andre 3000, that brings me to UGK, who you are also a fan of, right? And you said you got a quote from UGK that you live your life by.
That game is cold, but it's gravy.
And what exactly does that mean to you?
To me, what I found, man, is we used to hear this old saying, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Well, to me, this is like a very similar statement, bro. I told you how much President Chihil's molded me and kind of equipped me with certain situations. My mom exposed me to that, whether knowingly or unknowingly, exposed me to the game and how it operates. It's people who win and lose in that game. In every game, someone is winning and losing. It's just all about how you stack your chips. And if someone gave you the chips, it's all about how you put the chips in play. The game cold. I done went through a cold set of games. Lost friends, lost loved ones, lost partners that are incarcerated right now. Went to war, lost people that I love over there. Mom was in prison. I didn't have the best hibernated family unit, you know what I'm saying? Kinetic family unit that I could have wanted. But I got equipped to do better. I got equipped with some skills, man. So when I say the game cold, but it's gravy, yeah, it's gonna be hard outside sometimes, bro. But you know what I'm saying? If you are one of the willing, you know what I'm saying, you can make something shake, bro.
A lot of laws too, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's important, man. Again, for me, that's why I spend so much time in literature. Like even lyrics to me, like music to me is a form of literature. Like I used to sit down, I printed out like some of my favorite rappers' actual lyrics and read them like books. Yeah, read them like books. You know what I'm saying?
You really did that?
Yes. Like man, Chance the Rapper, when he dropped a song with Young Thug, man, I hate this for YSL right now, but
hey, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But a song called Big B's, man, Chance the Rapper spoke to him getting some money off tour and spending it all and going to spend it all on baby pull-ups. That let me know where his priorities was. He ain't gonna spend it on new chains and stuff, man. Yeah. So it kind of, for me, it reinforced positive intentions, positive actions, doing right and being a good steward of your blessings when you get your blessings, man, and not letting your blessings, you know what I'm saying, make the best of you. So lyrics for me, artists for me, you know, I act on the stuff that's actionable and I discard what isn't. You know what I'm saying? If it's actionable stuff, I take advantage of that. And so UGK, I always used to shoot street game that I can attest to, street game that I can move around. I don't have to be a gangster. My grandmother said you can learn from wise fools. Wise fools are experts at being foolish. Yeah. She said, observe, document, and don't apply. You know what I'm saying? Govern yourself accordingly. So artist has been doing good for me. That him and UGK and DJ Khaled, they're my folks, man.
Now I was just going to ask you that. And even before we get into DJ Khaled, you talking a lot of music. I guess give me your top 3 rappers. I hate to put you on the spot like this. Well, I really don't.
Okay. Let me qualify this first. Okay. Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
Favorite. Cole.
J. Cole.
And Common.
Okay, not qualified.
All right. So for me, when I think of being, I know if we start trying to think about comparing like lyrical prowess in certain places, then I know that my debate will probably lose in some cases. My position is more on how impactful the message was to me and how translatable the message was, the value impact. And for me, Nipsey Hussle, when he spoke to being the Tupac of his generation at the time, essentially what I was taking from was he was motivating another set of people to take the steps. He was applying a blueprint. So have you ever heard Jay-Z's blueprint album. Okay, I compared Nipsey Hussle's Crenshaw album, Slauson Boy 2,
Slauson Boy 2.
Victory Lap. I put all of those. I've been listening to them since '09.
Without even talking to you, I knew you were a Nipsey fan. I'm a Nipsey fan too.
Yeah, I love Nip.
I just could tell by the way you think.
I love Nip, dude. Yeah. I love Nip.
I hate to cut you off right
there. Oh yeah,
so
no,
continue,
for sure.
Continue, please.
But me and you are both contesting to the impact of the music. You know what I'm saying? Like when the message came out, the value that it added in. It ain't just something that slap on a beat. You know what I'm saying? There's some game being put in there. So 3 Stacks made a song with Devin the Dude called "What a Job This Is" back in the day when we were jits. And he spoke. He said, man, people used to make love to me in high school. You know what I'm saying? He said that these people wanted him to mention him in their raps, man. And he said, why not? You know, he just graduated from college, you know what I'm saying? Well, he said, hey, I gotta go. I gotta go back out to the studio. Gotta write tonight. Hey, can you put me in your raps? I don't see why not. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is, when I listen to the lyrics and music, I take away what I can gain from it. Common for me was the first intellectual rapper that I could cling to that let me know it's cool. It was cool to be conscious. It was cool to be intellectual. It was cool to be read, traveled. You know what I'm saying? Cole for me, Cole gave me a hybrid of both. I went to college, but this is my circumstances. I'm not saying I'm a gangster. I'm just saying I'm from that. You know, that's I was birthed out of that.
I know a girl who says, it's the funniest thing to me. She says, Cole makes music for people who are boring. That's what she say, for people who are boring. And I'm like, how can you say that about the man music? You know, now she stand on this. Do you feel like, I know his music has a lot of substance, but do you think that statement has any validity to it?
In my opinion, I'll argue with that.
Okay.
I would pose questions. You would have to classify boring. Okay. And then she would have to be able to explain how she's not. And let it hold up to me, you know what I'm saying? Or hold up to her counterparts. However, his music for me, I feel like it's telling stories that people can relate to. And relate to them from a position of the average person. And not the person who got this super gangster story, this super tough lifestyle. I can't listen to Rod Wave.
You can't. You can.
I done tried.
He jamming, bro.
It's too much pain.
It's a lot of pain.
And I've healed. I've been healing myself.
But you don't like the pain?
It take me back.
Future my Nick. Future my guy. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro.
Got dirty, baby.
I ain't gonna cap to you. Future, man, like, as unhealthy as his life may be.
Yeah, he got some unhealthy stuff going on.
Keep it rolling.
I like Future.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I wouldn't put him, like, you know, when I'm feeling a little jazz, you know, I'm coming down to the street.
Yeah.
And funny enough, that's how I dress myself. I dress myself to music.
Okay.
I don't think about like an outfit or what I'm wearing, whatever I'm listening to. So today, on the way, when I was getting dressed, I was listening to David Ruffin, Can We Make Love One More Time? That's how I dressed myself today.
I ain't never heard this.
Oh yeah, you gotta hear that, man. Dang, somebody got my phone gone. What's up?
I got it. I hear
David Ruffin, Can We Make Love One More Time? Old classic stuff, man. Old Commodore. That's what I was listening to all day. So when I got dressed today, I'm like, man, let me do some speakeasy type of look today.
Speakeasy.
You know what I'm saying?
Feel it.
You know, that's what I was trying to pull out. So when I get dressed, I get dressed to music. So let's say we going to JSU homecoming, and we're gonna go out to the hot spot or something. You know, I'll put on a song like, okay, this is how I'm feeling. Maybe there's some YG, maybe there's some Game or whatever. And I'll dress around it, man. Okay, I may wear Dickie suits and bandanas and some Cortezes that day just because that's what I heard and that's what I'm feeling. Yeah. So music moves me in a lot of ways, but it motivates me in my personal life and in my business endeavors too, man.
That's real.
Yeah, for sure.
That's real. And I'm glad you said business endeavors because we done a lot of talking, a lot of catching up, a lot of everything. But we haven't done a lot of talking about your business. So I want to talk about these sticks, as you call them.
Yeah, for sure.
That you brought out for us.
No doubt, man. Okay.
We don't have to get into them. I just want to start with the business side.
Okay.
So I was asking you, well, I wanted to ask you rather, sorry. How did you get into cigars? Okay. How did that happen?
So my very first cigar was given to me by my brother, Daryl Harper, man. At the time he was working at Churchill Smoke Shop. him alongside Mark Van Buren, who's also the owner of the Ash Cigars located on the frontage road on 55. So both of those gentlemen, man, were how I got my start, you know? And from that point, I was still on active duty in the service. So man, I really had a fondness to it because of the networking possibilities at the time. Like, hey, I'm meeting so many good people. I'm young at the time, so I was 22. So it's like I'm meeting people, I'm getting a chance to get exposed, getting a chance to get with the movers and shakers, acquiring mentors at the time, which was something I was actively looking for, and that space provided that for me. But what I noticed after that, dude, was like, it's missing a lot of representation of us outside of the consumer side. Because when you think about in the stock market, when business is good, or the stock market is good, or company is doing good, they say it's in the black, you know, but black means consumerism, you know what I'm saying? And we do a lot of consuming, you know, and I wanted for us to try to think about the opportunities of being on the other side. Let's offer something to the market for it to be consumed. So then when I started looking into the cigar industry in particular, man, I seen a lot of us playing a part in it, a lot of us paving the way for more businesses to flourish, but it wasn't a lot of us on the business side with that. So again, my wheels began to turn. So it wasn't until I got to D&B Cigar Corner in Mesquite, Texas, with another Mississippian, Mr. Tim Davidson, who's from Moss Point, who owns that shop out there, man, who gave me a shot and asked me to come work with him, man. And I got a chance to really explode in the industry, man. And from that point, it was like, yo, I need to try to do this, man, you know? So I ended up finding a family that was willing to teach me once I arrived to Cuba, and man, I took trips to Cuba to learn how to roll, man.
You did?
I went to the source, brother.
What was that like?
It's a beautiful experience, man. Again, man, I told you I learned so much while on my travels, just on world perspective, man. But I got a chance to just see an economy that was completely based off of this, man. Cuba's economy is ran off of cigars, man. It keeps their wheels turning. It's like dropping back into Motown, if you will. Which was a very, very good thing to see and to be a part of, and see how rich it was, and see how many stories it was that played a part in that. So once I learned there, man, I didn't stop there. I went to the Dominican Republic to learn how to blend cigars, to become. So when you think about blending, I want you to think about your grandma's recipe for maybe it's her macaroni and cheese or something. But you know, cousin may try to make it and it ain't hidden like grandma's, because grandma got that recipe that she ain't sharing with too many people. Well, blending a cigar, what you're smoking is just as important as constructing it. You know, so I want you to think about it like that. Here you have the cook, or the person who created the recipe, blender, the person who prepared the meal, torsador, or roller, if you will. So I wanted to make sure that experience was comprehensive, bro. So I did all three sides. I started off in mom and pop's retail. I started off as a consumer, went into mom and pop's retail. I worked for the British American Tobacco Group based out of London. That's R.J. Reynolds, who owns Newport, Pall Mall, and Camel. And then I ended up moving into the cigar making side, man. So I got a chance to really do this over the last 10 years, bro.
What's the deal with Cuban cigars? Like, why are they such a thing? Everybody's like, oh, I got a Cuban.
Primarily due to the social relevance of the cigar that we know and love to now, and the prestige of which Cuba is the father of that. You know what I'm saying? They came up with the sauce that we partake in. So it's the home of the culture, you know, in that particular way. But now when we think about where Tabacalera in itself came from, or in some cultures, tobacco is called, you know, insanga, which is the Palo name for tobacco. It's a herb. So when the Taínos people, they found the Taínos people here in 1492. Christopher Columbus did. And you ever heard of the cigar brand Cohiba before?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, so the word Cohiba is actually the ritual of lighting the cigar. That's the Cohiba ritual. So anytime I fire up some smoke right now, this is a spiritual ritual that the shaman named the Bahique, which is why Cohiba has a cigar called the Bahique, which is talking about the shaman that used to be the what we would consider a priest to start the ritual off. So anytime someone is participating in lighting a cigar, smoking a cigar, they're participating in the Cohiba ritual. So Cuba, vicariously took a lot of this and received a lot of this because the people began to migrate. So that's why Cuba is the home of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And even in the Dominican Republic, a lot of people moved from Cuba to the Dominicana in hopes of starting their cigar companies, for sure.
Thank you for enlightening me. And speaking of home, to touch on Jackson a little bit.
Yeah.
You're a native, I'm a native.
Yeah.
Curious question. What are your thoughts on where you would like to see Jackson go?
Man, I would like to see Jackson be a real South Central version of Atlanta or Birmingham. I feel Jackson has so much culture. We're the real anchor of the Bible Belt. With the civil rights movement, all of these huge movements happen right here in the city. So, and I believe our mayor is doing a great job with bringing the right people around, dealing with the right people, bringing some viewpoints and perspective to our city through some of those economic programs, getting people to really think about coming here and selling roots in such a historical place. And even his father had did such a wonderful job in the grassroots movement, which was catering to what our town had, our city has had historically. I see Jackson being an amazing place, man. Because now, one, we the new adults now, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so we bringing in fresh ideas, fresh perspectives. You know, a lot of the status quo that's been going on previously in our adolescence, you know, we're not having that anymore. You know, we're trying to figure out a way to make things young, fresh, forward thinking. And I think Jackson has all of the opportunity and all of the cultural remnants to make that type of thing happen, bro. I think we done seen it now with since Prime done been here. What has happened, bro? It's opened up opportunities, not just in Jackson, but statewide. Everyone is feeling the impact of our local college, our local community, bro.
Back to what your grandmama said.
Exactly. Our local community is now bringing federal state dollars into the other colleges. It's bringing tourism in now, because people who never would have came to Jackson now is coming to Jackson to see the Jackson State Tigers play. But then they're gonna taking a trip to the Delta to go see see tours of the old Delta, the Blues. Everybody is benefiting economically off of the community that's being built here. And so, you know, of course, our athletic director, Ashley, our mayor, you know, our Prime and his team, and people like yourself are moving and shaking and making people know. Shit, in the words of Andre 3000, Jacktown got something to say.
Jacktown got something to say.
Jacktown got something to say.
I love that, man.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
I love that. And real quick about it, when you think about the city of Jackson, and I only ask you this because I know you can handle the weight of the question, what do you think about the politics that surround Jackson, right? Like, we want it to be great, we want it to be all of these things, but there's still a political side of that.
Yes,
right? There's still things that Chokwe is trying to do, the mayor. Chokwe is trying to do that he just...
People getting in his way.
For
sure, man. I think it took me a while to understand the load of the office at one point in time. I just thought that someone should just do because they have the power to do. Well, that's heavy-handed leadership. And people normally end up resenting leaders who handle the crown in such a strong way. So it ends up having to be more of a compromise, if you will, more diplomacy. So I like the relationship, and I'll give you an example of what I consider great politics as of now. Our district attorney, Jody, is an amazing brother. Him and Chokwe, as the mayor, he's he's making sure to make Jackson a safe place to live so Chokwe can bring the money, you know, build a community. And that's a hand-in-hand thing. All right, they're not arguing, you know, but I think now we just need more people around to even support these politicians that we do have in office until we can effect change. Hey, city council, well, this is what you may think we need because you've been catering to some demographic or constituents now. But the younger people, such as you and I, are taking care of our grandmothers, our great aunties, our fathers and stuff who are now elderly. So let's hear more of that and more what fresh ideas that people really want. And I think that's happening, but more now, again, as we focus on our community and being a good neighbor to one another and finding out what makes the community a community, I think we can solve a lot of problems politically, socially, and economically. And I'm looking forward to that journey. And I know as times progress and we have these more discussions, because people will listen to this and I hope they would. Well, even those people to say, hey man, maybe I've been looking a little short-sighted at some of these things. Let's hear what the people want. Let's get back to being politics surrounding around the people, man, instead of politics for ourselves. You know,
Man.
it's my opinion now. I hope I don't ruffle no feathers, now.
Bravo, bravo. What are you smoking on? What you drinking on? Because you talking that talk
Oh man,
right
this
now.
is old soul, man. So
Yeah.
Cathead Distillery, of course, you know I'm on my Mississippi thing today.
Yeah.
So guys, right now we having some old soul, man, which is made by Cathead Distillery with one of my portfolio companies I invest in, Coca-Cola. So you know, Warren, but I put my money in Coca-Cola, so I invest. I'm drinking it.
I
So Mississippi,
I trust Buffett too.
yeah, Buffett the man. Man, and what I'm smoking on right now is, man, my Series 3 Select, man, Reserva. Actually haven't released the cigar yet. It's gonna be in my new capsule collection, and I'm very, very excited about that.
What's your capsule collection?
So man, now man, at this point in the game, I've been focusing on more of an experience, being about the experience, you know. And I found that being about the experience has taken me to places where I couldn't imagine and placed me in rooms where I can only dream of. And I just like, hey man, if I can't be everywhere rolling in front of people, then the least I can do is package some experience. So, but I wanted to pay the way forward. So my new capsule collection that's getting ready to drop soon, man, is gonna come with some cigars. It's gonna come with a custom bar list, like a drinking list, prepared cocktails, crafted music list of things that I've been motivated
To pair
about.
with the
yes,
cigar?
to pair with the cigars and to pair with the cocktails. But and last but not least, to give someone something to have a reason to celebrate. So I'm including a do-it-yourself credit repair course in there, so people can educate themselves on financial
What
literacy.
are you not doing?
You said that's for me, man. I'm like, yo, this is what helped me win.
Yeah.
You may want to say, hey, I want to start my own clothing boutique or something, or hand store, shoe store, sell prenatal products, but you get to the point where you don't have the capital. We keep running into the wall with capital. So like, hey, let's solve that problem. You don't have to go spend this money. You can take the time, put the work in, and do it yourself. But this is worth a cigar, man. That's worth a cigar to celebrate. Hey man, I couldn't get that house, now I can get that house. Well, I couldn't get that bank loan, now I can get that bank loan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's worth a cigar, baby.
Man.
That's worth a cigar.
Man.
And that's peace, queen. And that matters to me, man. That matters to me. And I wanted that collection to have that in there because I didn't want it to be about the cigars. I wanted the cigars to be the reason, the celebratory reason after a great experience. I wanted you to celebrate with the cigars of taking some action, man, for yourself, bro. And if you didn't need it, you know somebody who don't got the best of financial literacy, pass that along. So each one of my capsule collections going forward will include some kind of road paving situation to give the people who support me. I say, hey man, you gave me this and you allowed me to do this in my community. Let me help you make yours. You know?
Man, let me take these shades off. I want, as I wrap this up, I want to tell you, man, I'm proud, I'm honored, and I really can't even put the words together for the way I feel to sit here with you, have this conversation,
Man,
to listen to you, and just talk to you, man.
Man, a dog, man.
For real.
Man, for real.
real.
I'm telling you, man, I'm super proud of you, man. I don't know if I told you that when I was a kid, man. When we was in high school, I always thought you was the coolest cat, bro.
No, you did.
I
man.
swear,
Don't tell
bro.
me
That ain't no
bro.
lie, man. That is no lie. I used to talk to, Jason Gibson, my best friend.
Yes, yeah.
So I used to talk to Jason about you at school all the time. Like, bro, I want to be like that. Because, y'all was, because you was in Capitol for me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I remember.
And that's one of the reasons, man, why I wanted to join. Because I started off in SOS at the time.
Bro. Yeah.
And ended up leaving and said, I want to be part of the Capitol League, man. And, man, it's good to see you doing what you're doing, being amongst the people, man, giving me a platform to share my gifts and my story, man, and to see that we both made it up out of this thing, alive, blessed, man, and winning, bro. I love you, bro.
For real. I love you too,
Yes,
brother.
it did.
I
Yes,
love
it
you
did.
too.
Yes,
well,
it did.
as I wrap up, man, I got one last question for you before I completely end this. Off the wall question. Is $100,000 a lot of money?
No.
And why?
$100,000, man, is really enough to give you some kind of floor to activate a blueprint, in my opinion. Once you make your first $100,000, Warren Buffett's best friend and them said that once you make your first $100,000, that's when you done figured out some processes is right. And I'll tell you, even some game that Kairos used to put me on all the time. When you gotta have that nest, man. 100,000 not enough to do it. 100,000 is a damn good start. But what could you do with 100,000?
Yeah.
Right now, for not like this is a production right here. It has all these cameras. This is an investment. What could we do? This is gotta be at least $50,000 worth of equipment. So that lets us know how much more equipment do we need? 100,000 worth probably. And most people need at least 100,000 to properly do what they trying to do.
I feel that.
And I think that's a good start. Now the 10X is 10X it. The next conversation is we got 100,000 to make us $1 million.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then once the meal ticket hitting on it, then if you keep your overhead low, we working with something.
Well, brother, let me stop cramping your style, man. Tell
Yeah,
these
cramp my style,
tell these people
man.
where they can find you.
Okay.
Tell them where you like them to follow you and
Okay.
all of that.
Okay, man. Peace to the tribe, man. Again, man, it's Chief of New Seti. I'm in Raw, aka and affectionately known as the Sartorial Tobacconist. You can find me on Instagram at my personal handle at Sartorial_Tobacconist. You can follow my personal cigar brand at Dreamer Cigars. And if you want to book me for a service, keep up with what I'm doing right now, feel free to go to my website at www.sartorialtobacconist.com. I answer all DMs, messages, phone calls, and everything. My man, other people, for the people, by the people, man. And it's an honor. I thank y'all in advance.
Well, one last thing, man. Here from me and the entire Dirty Napkins crew, want to gift you. Pass it around this way. Boy, you got the moves too.
Yeah,
you got
Lord,
the moves too.
yeah,
Want to give you with a shirt, brother.
Hey, man, I just feel like I got drafted, baby.
Yeah.
First round draft
Yes,
pick, man.
sir.
Dirty Napkins, man.
101.
You're a small forward,
Yes,
baby.
sir.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord, man.
sir,
It's an
man.
honor. Thank y'all guys,
Man.
Truly an honor to be a part, man. I love what y'all doing. I wish y'all nothing but wealth and prosperity, man. And again, it's just an honor to be a part, brother. Thank you.
You don't understand, my brother. This has been a pleasure for me, baby.
Man, likewise, brother.
All right, man.
Likewise.
I do got one more question for you.
Okay, talk to me.
And I promise I'm gonna let you boogie after this.
Okay.
When you think about everything you've come from, everything you've overcame, everything, right? What do you want the legacy of a new to be?
Hey, that's heavy. You know, when I was in combat, bro, I used to think about all the time, like, dying. Like, what that would be like to die or to proceed on and what I would think people to be. I would want people to know, and for my legacy is to be a man who cared about the man next to me, cared about the sister next to me, be a man, again, for the community, you know what I'm saying, and by the community, you know what I'm saying, because I'm from the same community. To be a community man, to be someone who cares, man. In our time now, I think more so than any time, people are not pulling each other up anymore. We're letting each other fall. We're hoping for them to fail in a lot of ways. And I'm no better than you. If I can't help you win and you can't help me win, then what are we saying about our community? And we both say we're from Jackson, but both of us won't be willing to help each other and pull each other up, both emotionally. If you having a downtime, I'm having a downtime, we should be together. If I win in business, I should try to help you, if at all possible, for you to win as well. So then when we at the top, we celebrating the story together from where we came from. So if I can be, my legacy, man, is to be someone who never gave up or turned my back on my community. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I wish, man. And people didn't give up on me, and I refuse to give up on people.
Brother, that warms my heart, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I got for you. And like
For
I
sure.
said, I know you got a lot more stuff to do, a lot of cigars to roll, a lot of people to make happy.
Yes, Lord.
So I'm gonna go ahead and let you roll, man. But again, brother,
Man,
it's
likewise.
been a pleasure, man.
I love you, dude.
I love you too. We hope you enjoyed our conversations with the new here at LaCour in Highland Village. Special thanks to the owner, Dr. J. Rose, for opening the door and allowing us a special opportunity to showcase Black excellence. Thank you to our sponsors. Your contributions allow us to spread awareness to local communities around the world. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Dirty Napkins. Until next time, it's your host, Jay Taylor. So this is from me and the entire team here at Dirty Napkins.
Thank you, thank you. My favorite color too.
We knew that.
Ooh, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I love my t-shirt.
Thank you, and congratulations on everything y'all are doing. I only hear great things about this show, so I appreciate you having me on. Thank you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. I will definitely rock it. I will definitely rock it.